good fortune.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. It was there, right? And it got me through it.
Yeah.
And after that, I was just sick of it. Right, I was just kind of sick of all of it. I was sick of
the bullshit.
I was sick of all the bullshit. Sick of being broke. I was sick of spending the only money I had on drugs and booze, and also didn't want to end up any of the places where I'd seen so many people end up, which was dead, jail, or dead sober. I just like wanted to be able to like stay into wine, and these things were a passion beyond drinking. Right, it was the art form itself of making this stuff. So I just decided that was it, and the place that I knew one other place was. One other buddy was in Hacienda Heights.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Where's Hacienda Heights?
Hacienda Heights
is that San Gabriel?
It's San Gabriel. It's like
San Gabriel,
south. It's like south of Whittier.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay,
Up in the hills off the 60. And
the best pho out there.
Best pho. I mean,
is that right? That's the pho capital.
That's the pho capital. That's the pho.
I mean, discovering the
dim sum capital.
Discovering the SHW in 2009 by myself, because I was basically not trying to make a ton of friends at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was going to work. I took my first job managing, which was in Costa Mesa. I lived in Hacienda Heights because I didn't want to live in Orange County.
Damn.
No offense to Orange County.
Yeah, no offense.
I wasn't trying
offense.
to. Sorry.
A lot of offense.
Let's drop land.
I was commuting back and forth, and I just started to get a real feel for some of the other parts of the city that people don't go to as much. Right? Like the part of LA I got to know first was as a white dude living basically in the SGV and going out by myself for pho, for Chinese, for Sichuan, and like this is stuff that we just didn't. In New York, you have this, but in Boston, we didn't have this level of variation.
Gotcha.
And so that was like kind of my first love of LA, and then I found downtown.
I mean, the agents gonna do it every time. They gonna
turn you. They'll definitely turn you by.
No, so, you find yourself suddenly at like a noodle place, and then you're having dim sum, and you're having Vietnamese.
Did you eat dim sum before you moved out, or was there just
I did, and I would. As a kid, the second I got my driver's license, I started driving
to New York.
Anywhere I could that I would anything. It was before. It was so easy to find out about restaurants, right?
Okay.
And in Massachusetts back then, there was a local news show called The Phantom Gourmet. Two of the funniest.
Phantom Gourmet.
Phantom Gourmet. The Anderman brothers are still doing that. They did inspire.
We love.
And like one day it would be like the world's biggest lobster roll. But the next day it would be like
very masshole of them.
Yeah, definitely. But the next day would be like a Brazilian restaurant in Medford that I would never have heard about before, and that no one was driving to. These were like real neighborhood places they were featuring, and as soon as I got my driver's license, I would go, including if I went by myself. Which I think too, like a huge part of being able to do restaurants successfully is to be able to communicate and get along with anyone.
Absolutely.
Right, like that is just a unique advantage, and I do think some of that early time, Mass is not a really diverse state.
Right. No, trust me, I know.
Yeah, and a lot of lines are not they're not as broken down as you would wish they were. But food is definitely that thing, and certainly if Boston's changing in any way, it's around restaurants. Like I would credit it for changing the city entirely, because people, as their interest in food increases and their willingness to try new things, suddenly other cultures seem much less scary,
right?
And you have something to talk about,
right?
If you sit down and you eat everybody's
that's really
food,
what it is.
You have a lot to talk about.
Talking points. And food is one of those, obviously one of those bridge aspects. You feel me?
That's why we're breaking the motherfucking bread.
That part.
I mean, that's why. Why we're here.
Talk to me. She's speaking gospel, ladies and gentlemen. You feel me? Nah, man, but it is. It's art, fashion, music. These are the things that people can relate to, even if you're from a different walk of life. You feel me?
Yeah, agreed. And I think there are things too that once you develop an appreciation for, you realize there's no end to the learning or the experiences or
100%.
what's really out there. And one thing that I really learned from travel, which changed my life in the most important way, I would say, is that like the more I traveled, the more I realized how little I'd know about the world.
Very true.
But that context helps you understand where you're from in a really meaningful way.
Yeah.
Right?
That reminds me of Kendrick, Mama. If we know that song, I would reference it, but I don't know lyrics for shit. But I hear you. Now, what's your favorite place you've been? I know that's hard. That's a hard question.
Japan, I found the most inspiring place that I've been.
Okay.
If I was just gonna kind of
food or just in general?
Food, hospitality, the manners of the place, just that level of respect.
The general social contract that everyone has.
To feel that safe in a place, and also to see women be that safe in a place is a different. It changed the way that I understand any level of travel.
Okay.
Right? We as Americans are not what we're used to.
No, they've got the women only, trains, gyms, all kinds of shit.
And street crime is just immensely low. It's the lowest in the world in the biggest city.
Yeah.
Which is just this really unique. You're walking home at 4 a.m. and you don't. in America, you see a woman walking by themselves on a lonely street at 4, you're
like, you gonna be all right?
and you should be. You should be. You shouldn't be doing it, right? You should be concerned.
Exactly.
But there, you can.
Yeah.
Like, you can fall asleep at the train stations, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can fall asleep at the train station, hammer drunk, go in the morning to a convenience store and buy a freshly pressed shirt.
I've been seeing that, like
Tie, go
Japanese
back to work.
businessmen.
Yeah, the
are
salary
literally
men.
just like laying on the floor.
They are the most expert drinkers I've
And
witnessed.
then waking up going to work.
I've been all over. They are good at drinking.
They do their thing.
I think if I could like speak a language, like if I could be fluent in a language and just had to pick one place to just spend my days, you know.
Japan? I
Maybe
speak a little Japanese. I learned Japanese in
well,
in
there's
high
3
school.
places. It would be Japan or Spain, but
I hated Spain.
You hate Spain?
I hated Spain.
Really?
But I only went to Barcelona. Like I didn't love it. It was like, do you want some Coke?
I'm like a Basque country guy.
No, I don't want some Coke. I want some tomato cone